So before we're going to talk about what is exactly employee benefits and fits facilities and convenience that employee get from working in a company as part of work agreements outside the regular salary or wage paid. And also, most countries have made employee benefit provided by companies under applicable of the industrial law in that country. Like usually it is in the form of the health insurance and a work accident insurance. Like in our country, in our country itself, in Indonesia, that is also applies to the governments. The employee benefits, which requires company to provide benefit in the form of the membership and payment of, if you know, it's called BPJS Kesehatan, and it's also managed in the law or the presidential regulations in our country. So basically, the employee benefits it's divided into two kind. The first one is actually short-term employee benefit. So it's basically it can be in the form of salary, bonus, allowances, and profit sharing and commissions. And the second one is actually a long-term benefit. It is other benefit include free lunch, like gym membership, like if you know, like the Google company, they provide the employee like the benefit of traveling or something like that. So it is all about the definitions or the core concept about the employee benefit, and then we're going to talk about the role of the employee benefit itself. So as a part of the total compensations paid to employees, benefits serve functions similar to pay. So benefits contribute to attracting, retaining, and motivating employee. So the variety of possible benefits also help employers tailor their compensations to the kind of employee they need. Different employee look for different type of benefits. Like employers need to communicate effectively so that the benefits succeed in motivating employee. And employee have come to expect the benefit will help them maintain economic security. And social security contributions, pensions, and retirement saving plans help employee prepare for their retirement. And insurance plans also help to protect employee from unexpected costs such as hospital bills. So the important role of benefit itself is one of the reasons why benefits are subject to government regulation. So some benefits such as social security are required by law. And even though many kinds of benefits are not required by law, they have become so common that today's employee expect them. Many employers find that attractive qualified worker require them to provide medical and retirement benefits of some sort. A large employer without such benefit will be highly unusual and would have difficulty competing in the labor market. Next slide, please. And benefits required by law, like what I have mentioned before. I have mentioned about some of benefits that Indonesian's governments provide for the employee in Indonesia, such as the BPJS. It is also required by law. And basically, benefits required by law, it's the federal and the state governments require various forms of social insurance that protect a worker from the financial hardships of being out of the work. In general, Social Security provide um, support for retired worker. Unemployment insurance assists laid off worker, and worker compensation insurance provide benefit and services to worker injured on the job. And employers must also provide unpaid leave for certain family and medical needs. Because these benefits are required by law, employer cannot gain any advantage in the labor market by offering them, nor can they decide the nature of this benefit. Rather, the emphasis must be on complying with the details of the law. And also, there are five kind of the benefit required by law. The first is actually called Social Security. The second one is the unemployment insurance. The third one is actually called worker compensations. The fourth one is unpaid family and the medical leave. And the last one is actually healthcare and benefit. So the Social Security itself is the federal old age survivors disability and health insurance. It is actually a program that combines old age or retirement insurance, survivors insurance, disability insurance, and hospital insurance. And the employment insurance is actually a federally mandated program to minimize the hardships of unemployment through payments to unemployment worker. It is also help in the finding new jobs and incentive to stabilize the employment. And also the worker compensation is actually a state program that provide benefit to worker who suffer work-related injuries or illnesses or to their survivors. And the unpaid family and medical leave is in the United States. Unpaid leave is required by law for certain family needs. And if a family member, like child, spouse, parent, or next of kin, is injured while serving an active military duty, the employee may take up to like 26 weeks. And employers must also guarantee this employee the same as the comparable job when they return to work. And also the unemployment insurance is actually the pension protections and affordable care actions, or it is actually a complex package of change in how healthcare is to be paid for, like including requirements for insurance company, incentive, and penalties for employers, providing health insurance as a benefit, and expansions of public funding, and creations of health insurance exchange as an options for the sale of health insurance. And the law does not require companies to offer health insurance benefit, but it does require medium-sized and large company to choose between offering health insurance that meets its standard or paying a penalty. It is also include requirements for providing information to employees. So about the optional benefit program, it will be delivered with my partner, Silka.
Next is about optional benefits programs. Other types of benefits are optional. These include various kinds of insurance, retirement plans, and paid leave. The most widely offered benefits are paid leave for vacations and holidays, life and medical insurance, and retirement plans. In general, benefits packaged at smaller companies tend to be more limited than at larger companies. Benefits such as health insurance often extend to employees' dependents. Traditionally, these benefits have covered employees, their spouses, and dependent children. Today, many employers also cover domestic partners, as defined either by local law or by the companies themselves. Typically, a domestic partner is an adult non-relative who lives with the employee in a relationship defined as a permanent and financially interdependent. Benefits provided to domestic partners do not have the same tax advantages as benefits provided to spouses. Wait, there is lagging with my PowerPoint. The nuance of getting the most out of retirement benefits. The edge in the labor market goes to employers that help them understand. Employers have many options for communicating information about benefits, and to increase the likelihood that employees will receive and understand the message, employers can combine several media, such as brochures, question and answer meetings, internet pages, memos, and email.
Okay, so for the example of the real life cases, we actually provide you some of the article that reflect some of the cases related to the employee benefits. So one of the example is actually this one. It is the article from sarambinews.com, and it's basically about pensions money stuck for 3 months. PT Mapolri Raya suggested mediations with the worker union, and it happened in 2019. So a number of PT Mapolri Raya's retired workers have complained about 3 months of unpaid pensions payments. So this policy caused pensioners that have to seek buy lives to survive. And lastly, I received December for January to March. I didn't receive it anymore. Said a retiree to sarambinews.com. And the man who already has two grandchildren admits that he usually receives a pension of Indonesian's rupiah 6 million per month. He confirmed that there were approximately 100 retirees who had the same fate as him. And in the near future, we will report this problem to the Manpower Office, he continued. However, the head of industrial relations and social security of the Aceh Temiang Manpower and Transmigration Office, Supriyanto, who confirmed and explained that this issue should be discussed internally through labor unions and company management. And and he also admitted that the cases of arrears at PT Mapolri Raya were previously experienced by active worker, and active worker already have a solutions after both parties mediate. And we suggest that in the case two, if the mediations does not find a solutions, then we will enter. Said Supriyanto as the head of the Manpower and the Transmigrations Office. And a little he explains that pensions arrears do not apply a fine, but this case can be brought to the Industrial Relations Court or PHI because it has been regulated in Government Regulations number 8 of 1989 concerning about the wage protections. He also explained. And also about the second cases, it will be explained with Silka.
There is a concern about the deactivation of 5.2 million BPJS health participants. BPJS Watch Advocacy Coordinator Timbul Siregar is worried that the limited socialization carried out by the government in implementing the BPJS health participant data update policy will be prone to creating chaos in the community. This was revealed by Timbul in response to the 5.2 million BPJS Kesehatan participants who will be disabled as of today. The deactivation was the result of the sixth phase of the BPJS Health Assistant Recipient, or PBI, data update in 2019. Timbul explained in the first to fifth stages of updating PBI data, there were still many people who didn't know that their status as PBI participant had been disabled. So often when they go to the hospital, they get angry at the hospital because their status is no longer active, especially now that the number reaches millions of people. He said, Timbul explained. Therefore, Timbul urged the government to carry out massive socialization as soon as possible, even though the policy, according to him, was too late. Because based on the history of the Minister of Social Affairs concerning the deactivation and changes of data on participants who received health insurance contribution in 2019 plus 6. The policy takes effect from 1 August to 2019. Timbul also regrets the government policies which had been conducting a closed survey and updating PBI participant data which resulted in the deactivation of its membership's status based on a number of provisions. These provisions include people who have died, people who are declared no longer in poverty status, and people who have multiple identification number or NIC. So far, said Timbul, the survey process of participants who received BPJS health contribution was carried out unilaterally from the government, without asking for opinions from the public. It is not impossible participants who are actually still in poor status but have been removed from the PBI list. These conditions can create conflicts when in the field later, he said. I think that's enough for our presentation. Do you guys have